So thanks so very much for having me here today. It was quite an honor for Gail to invite me. And hearing that you're all in the medical profession, or most of you are in the medical profession, is a subsequent honor, because I always say, like, I'm a frustrated non-doctor, like I wanted to be a doctor, but I didn't realize I wanted to be a doctor until much later in life. I wanted to study marine biology, and my father said he wasn't going to send me to university to become a beach bum. But now I'm convinced, when we look back, I'm convinced now that if I'd started along the marine biology, I would have drifted into the human biology, because I have a love for the body and what makes it work. But I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a medical professional, I'm a health coach. And my journey, I am an immaculate old girl. I graduated in 91. Went on to university, studied, your screen just died, I don't know if that means like, I went on to study economics. I have an honors degree in economics, a Bachelor of Commerce. I went on to do my MBA, so I'm business-minded, but never heart in the banking industry. Came back to Jamaica in 2000, after living in Canada for 8 years, and got a really good job with a really good bank. I mean, a global, international bank. I could have gone anywhere. I've been offered senior positions in all over the place. But banking paid the bills. Really cool. Like the 20th of every month, there was never a paycheck miss. If I needed to go to the doctor, I had a great medical plan. Things at my fingertips, no issues. But heart not into it. And as I got a little older, work became for me not so much about what I did to pay the bills, to live my life after hours or on the weekend, but I wanted to be doing something that was impactful on a daily basis. Like, I didn't want to have to leave work to go home and enjoy myself. I wanted my work to be something that I enjoyed. I could never see myself at 65 retiring from the bank, so I wasn't quite sure, where I was gonna go. But I realized as I was going through my own journey of a person and a health being, as it were, I recognized that I had certain talents within me. People talk to me, people open up to me. I'm a good listener, I'm empathetic, I understand a lot about the body, and I'm the person at work that when you go to the doctor and the doctor says XYZ, they would come to me and say, can you help me understand what that really means? Because I don't get it. So I started spinning because I needed to be healthy after the birth of all my children, 3. And I loved it so much. Spinning is a form of exercise in indoor cycling. I became a spinning instructor. It was just a hobby thing. I just did the certification because my friend needed to become a master instructor, and to be a master, you have to train someone to be an instructor. So I said, fine, no problem, but I'm not going to teach. Well, I've been teaching for 6 years. I then wanted to deepen my knowledge of my body and what made my body work, because I know that certain things made me feel good and certain things didn't make me feel good. So I enrolled in a health coaching program, not because I was going to leave the bank and become a health coach. I still didn't know what I was going to leave the bank to go do. But then I was like, this is really actually what I need to do. And there's a saying that says that you don't find your dream finds you. And my dream really found me, and it was the middle of Hurricane Sandy. I was on the last battery power on my cell phone, calling the institute to enroll, and I thought, hurricane will blow outside, last piece of battery, this thing is either going to change my life one way or the other, and it's changed my life in a number of ways. That was the beginning of more transitioning that led up to me leaving the bank after a 16-year career. In which I fully immersed myself in health and wellness in February of this year. Huge jump. I don't think any step of the journey. Oh, so yeah, that's the jump from corporate to my new life. No step of the way has there been a lack of fear or doubt. And I think you got to make friends with fear and doubt, and just say, all right, I know you're going to be there all along, so you just sit down there and hold your corner while I go and try to deliver what I have to the world. I believe really strongly that you can't fix your health until you fix your diet. You've heard people say you can't out-exercise a bad diet. You could go to the doctor for the cut. If you don't take the tack out of your foot, the pain will not go away, right? So you've got to deal with the source of a lot of the issues. And I'm not saying that your diet or your lifestyle will heal you definitively. And I mean, I'm speaking to the converted, I'm sure. But certainly there are foods and ways of living and things we do that predispose us to disease and take us closer to or further away from the health that we seek. My mother died 2 years ago precisely, Friday coming, from diabetes. And I watched her suffer for many, many years. And if you know, again, medical professionals, diabetes is not just, oh, I have sugar. No, the heart, the stroke, the retinopathy, the gastroparesis, the mental, the emotional. It's not a nice disease. So, and I watched her suffer, and I could never get through. So her dealing with her diabetic condition in a way that I didn't think was the best way to deal with it kind of further propelled me to recognize that I can help people. Not everybody joins my tribe. Not everybody buys the Kool-Aid that I sell, and that's okay, because the ones that do plug in and the ones that do listen, I get really awesome results with in terms of... that's my mom. Oh, that's my daughter. That was my daughter. It is my daughter, but that was a few years ago before Mommy died. That was one of our last birthdays that we went out and celebrated. This little girl is 15 now, believe it or not. I think we have too much of this in our life. We have too much of this in our life. We have too much of this in our life. Yeah, right? So we have too much of this, and we can't wake up the next morning to go to wherever we need to go, so we have a lot of this. And then we can't sleep because we have too much of this, so we go back and have some of that to go back to bed. And we get stuck in that vicious cycle. And as Jamaicans, I don't know what it is, but why? Oh, thanks. Yeah. Why do we need to eat so much bloody rice? Like,
don't wake up hungry.
I tell so many of my clients, I'm like, you know what you would normally get as your serving of rice? Make that your vegetables. And what you normally get as your serving of vegetables, make that your rice. And that's a really good place to start, you know? Switch. Yes, okay. So whatever. The word detox is used a lot these days about anything. And as a medical professional, you know that there's detoxification of things in your body, like toxins, actual literal toxins in your body. But popular health culture talks about detox now as every little thing. Everything is a detox. Stop eating sugar. I'm on a sugar detox. Stop drinking coffee. I'm on a caffeine detox. Whatever. It's a popular term that gets people's interest. But for me, what I get people to do when they're on one of my programs that I do use the word detox because people are familiar with it, is I get them to pull out that junk that you saw earlier. A lot of the processed foods, sugary foods and whatnot, and get a lot more of this in their life. It's amazing how far away from this kind of way of eating we've come. I'm not a vegetarian and I don't support that necessarily, but we need vegetables. Like if we move towards a more plant-based diet, I mean, half the battle is won. See, happy lady eating a salad. So I want to show people how good healthy feels. Like a lot of my clients have said they didn't know how bad they felt until they actually started to feel good, you know? I use a couple of programs. One I developed, a 30-day detox. It's a journey in healthy habits. So we slowly come off the stuff that's bad for you, bring in lots of the stuff that's good for you, and I get you to turn off the devices before bedtime. Meditate a little. Practice deep breathing, you know? Drink more water. I'm amazed at how many people don't drink water. Like, something as simple as water. So, little things that we do in this nice journey towards better health. I also run a 10-day transformation where I use organic, non-GMO products. This is a great weight loss program, good energy, good sleep. awesome results. For people that go, 30 days is way too long, can't you just have a party I need to go to like in 2 weeks time and I want to look good. So this is the vanity program as far as I'm concerned, but it gets people in my door. Because when they do lose the 5 or the 8 pounds in the 10 days, they're like, oh, okay, now I listen to what you have to say. And I know you can't get healthy in 3 days, but 3 days is good enough to kind of draw the brakes when you are on a out-of-control car running down the wrong side of the road. So I'm launching in November a 3-day program where I make and deliver smoothies to you every day, and I get you to cut the stuff out of your diet that shouldn't be there. And anybody can commit to something for 3 days. Yeah? Mm-hmm. You could commit to anything for 3 days, truly. So I say, give me 3 days, let me show you how good you're going to feel in 3 days, and then let's talk about lifestyle shift. Because for me, I'm always about the lifestyle shift. I don't want you to do a 30-day program, a 10-day program, a 3-day program, or whatever program, and then go back to the crud you were doing before, because that doesn't make sense. I'm just contributing to your yo-yo factor. I'm about lifestyle shifts. Okay, you can't really read this, I realize. It's not a great color, but this is from one of my clients. It says, Natalie is not just a coach, she's a game changer. In Jamaica, it's difficult, even amidst the fruit and trees and abundant nature, to integrate what we see around us into our lifestyle. Natalie gives you a blueprint of how to eat clean and make it a part of one's daily living. Not going to read it all, but this lady did one of my 30-day programs. I ran into her in the supermarket afterwards, and she gave me a big hug, and she started crying. I'm like, what's going on? She goes, you gave me back my son. I was like, whoa, you did my program. How does your son come into this? Teenage son, depressed, moping, rude, short temper, she didn't know who her son had become. On one of my programs, I talked to you about high-fructose corn syrup, eliminating it from your diet. She looked through everything she was feeding her son, and she's like, this thing is everywhere. So she cut it out of his diet. She was about to start him in therapy because of how erratic his behavior had become. And cutting out the high-fructose corn syrup, the kid became the son that she knew she used to have. So with tears in her eyes, she's hugging me about how I gave her back her son. That's the kind of stuff that just gets me through the not so easy days as being an entrepreneur, but it really is amazing when you help people. I keep pushing the buttons by accident. And Douglas, a guy in New York that did one of my programs, says I now have a heightened sense of awareness as to what's possible through proper diet. So, like I said, not everybody joins my clan, but the ones that do get really, really good results. I run individual programs, group programs. I do corporate wellness talks as well. So I do corporate wellness. I'll consult for corporations as well, getting them to look at their gym benefit, what they're feeding their staff, because a healthy population is a much more productive population, and I've gone over by 3 minutes. I'm a spinning instructor, which is indoor cycling. I'm also an Trinity Instructor, brand new program to Jamaica. I'm the only one certified in it. I just imported the boards. I'm launching it at an event that I'm having in Negril this weekend. It's a 3-day fitness conference where I brought down international instructors, local instructors. We're all meeting in Negril. We have about 50 tourists coming to the island specifically for this. It's a JTB sponsored program. And so this is kind of the stuff that I do. I just want to make healthy fun and easy and accessible to people so that you guys can focus on you guys being the doctors and the nurses in the group, you can focus on what you really need to do, which is the acute, dealing with that, but not the chronic, repetitive, ridiculous disease that you don't really need to be dealing with, So, thanks for your time. I hope I delivered a little bit of value to you. This is how you can get in touch with me if you want to. My email is info@natalie-murray.com. My website is natalie-murray.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and there's my number. Gail just gave you a little brochure that I have that just tells you about the 10-day transformation, because it was what I had accessible that would give you my contact information. And I gave you a flyer about the fitness event, Spinning Escape Jamaica. Anybody have any? Anybody have any questions? In Trinity is a beautiful program. The guy that created spinning, his name is Johnny G. He moved on from spinning and has gone on to create this program called In Trinity. So you know Pilates, you know yoga. These are things that are done on flat surfaces. So Johnny said, I sometimes want to go a little deeper in my stretches. I want to use gravity a little more in my workout programs. So he designed this board which is elevated at an angle, and it's tested up to a 300-pound person. So most people are able to use the program, and it's universal movement. So when you're doing it, you will feel yoga, you will feel Tai Chi, you will feel Pilates, but it's none of those particular disciplines. It's just that we're taking a practice that we normally would do on a flat surface and put it on an elevated surface. So it's accessible to the aged population who cannot get down to the floor, maybe, and get back up, but they can get to a chair, and one side of the board is the height of a chair. And then it's great for the really flexible, strong, fit population, because if I'm doing a spinal twist to stretch out my lower back, the floor prevents me from going deeper than the floor. But the board, because of the elevation, has negative space, so you can go deeper. And then depending on which way you're lying on the board, you can use gravity either to assist or to give more resistance. So it's a beautiful program. Yeah.
Does he have 3 children?